Let's go.
Levantare.
Yeah, in the stress ghetto, kids test the devil to hit the next level.
Back again with another message, for all the real TIs who are going through things like me. Salute, shout out to you. TI lives matter all day, every day. Now, I feel this video right here is important for you to understand, when seeking information about what is happening to you. Not only that, what is actually happening amongst this community on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, wherever you may dwell frequently on the internet, this thing is happening. And it's key right now, I feel, because, just due to the times that we're going through right now, you can kind of compare, the situations and walk away from this with, some kind of understanding of how deep the infrastructure is and how deep the manipulation goes and how slick and sly that these people are. Even some of these people that you might look up to, these people you might frequent on their channel, you might support what they do, but I don't think people really understand what they do. I understand what they do. They know I understand what they do. And that's why, when it comes to me personally, they try to bend the narrative. That's right, guys. The narrative. The narrative. What is the narrative, right? What is the narrative? I hear that word thrown around a lot, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too. And I just want to break down what the narrative actually is, and then we'll move forward from there. All right, so we're going to go straight out of the dictionary, okay? The narrative. This word is very important. It's key, guys. It's just a word, right? But let's just break down what the narrative actually is, okay? Now, the definition is a spoken or written account of connected events, a story. So, as you guys can see, that's all it basically really is. The narrative is just a story. Doesn't actually mean that story or narrative has any truth to it whatsoever, right? Whatsoever. It's just a story, just a connection of events, and people need to understand that, because the narrative, right, is always, especially when it has to do with anything that has any truth to it. Like we can equate this to what's happening right now with all these riots, with all these protests. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about this TI community, right? Or PURP Network, or whatever y'all want to call it, right? Whatever narrative y'all want to spin around what's really happening to real TIs. And all the hoopla and all of these freaking people who are inserted into this community or PURP Network, who are consistently just giving us disinformation, running smear campaigns, and trying to curve and control the narrative. The narrative. Because that's what happens, for all the real TIs who are really being targeted and going through this thing. The narrative is controlled, especially when it comes to you, especially when it comes to me. And I'm going to uncover some of these narratives, some of these false narratives that, these cyber stalkers, like my boy Brian 2 would call them, or fake TIs who have, infiltrated the that's why I say, is it really a community if it's so heavily infiltrated? Is that a whole nother narrative? Like, is this TI community, is that a narrative? Is that just some story somebody made up? Because let's just be real, like, nobody's talking about this. And nobody, I don't know, nobody's talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it. You know, I'm going to talk about it. I would say maybe either 80 to 90% of the people who claim they are real TIs, they're not. They're not targeted at all. And you can tell. I mean, you can tell, but at the same time, let me tell you some truth. This is not a narrative. This is what I learned, what I experienced, right? With my own 2 eyes, feet, my whole physical form. You know, I've experienced this. So this is what I learned, and I'm sharing with you that, you know, a lot of these people are not real TIs in real life. They're not being tortured. They're actually contributing to the real TI's torture. They're actually running psyops on people. And some of these people are cool, man. Like, you know, they come on, they're cool, nice guys, you know, nice women, like, and it's all kind of these people who have infiltrated what you guys to believe as the TI community. And, you know, you see them, you know, you see them all the time. And they are, some of these people I have met in real life. And there was purpose for all of that. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. There was reasons for the way everything happened with me, especially, you know. I have a voice, you know. I have a presence on YouTube. And I'm really targeted, and I'm really going through some things, and I have been talking about these things. A lot of these things I haven't even gathered the strength to even, you know, talk about yet. But you know, the narrative, you know, that's created around the next level, right? Me, my channel here, not even my channel. This is me. This is my life, because I'm not one of those fake TIs who are, you know, coming on here for clicks and likes and just, you know, and there's more to it than just the clicks and likes, you know. Like, these people are spreading disinformation, right? These people are running psyops on you. But the thing about it is, not only do they have those fake TIs who are making content, but they have fake TIs who don't make any content either, you know, and they support each other. It's all a network. That's why I call it the PURP Network. And they all work together, all of them, even behind the scenes. This is truth. Like, this is what I have experienced, because I fell victim to it and got sucked in the whirlwind and got right involved in it. And it spin me up, chewed me out, and spit me right back out. And I can see from every step of the way, from every step of the journey, when I, you know, got mixed in with this PURP network, what the outcome is of that, you know. And it is so they can control the narrative about you. But just think about something real quick. When you have a group of people who are not for you, basically not going through what you're going through, but actually profiting from what you're going through, because these people are being paid. These people are paid opposition. They're being paid to not only control the narrative, but, you know, to run these psyops on you and to play mind games and, you know, and to target you in a way. And it's so slick and it's so carefully constructed. It's honestly, like, it's mastermind how they even put this thing together. But, you know, I'm gonna just share some, you know, narratives that I, you know for a fact / smear campaigns that's run on me, You know, I'm going to confront it head up because I know people have heard these things about me. And it's funny to me because it's not true. And I don't feel any, like I understand what this thing is, and I understand that I've been going through this before I even knew what this was. So it definitely made perfect sense and put things into perspective for me personally. But I'm gonna just start with the first thing, right? That I've seen in this community. Next level is a perp. Next level is a perp. Or next level is an actor, right? That's a story. It's a narrative. It's something that they are going to push to the community because they know I'm a real TI. And anything that I have to say from my personal experience could actually expose these freaking perps, right? Because I've been through it. I've been through these things, like I didn't just start posting last year, or it ain't even about posting. Like I've been going through this, right? My whole life I've been going through this in different stages. So the narrative that they will push, which is just a story, is next level's a perp. So anything that I have to say out of my mouth from personal experience is instantly discredited. And you guys hear that a lot. This one's a perp, that one's a perp. People just throw that around, right? And real perps are being called perps, and then real TI, and then it just curves, and then it bends the narrative, right? Which is just a story. Bends the narrative, right? To just send people into confusion and not understanding what is what, right? But that's one of the narratives that I have heard, which is freaking funny to me. Because honestly, like, if I wasn't going through this, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I had dreams and hopes and aspirations to do something positive with this world and make a positive impact on this world. Like, I wouldn't be on here, talking about these things if I wasn't really going through it. I'm just being straight up with you. I would never do that. I'm not even that type of person, but a lot of people are, especially in this community, network, whatever y'all want to call it, right? But I just wouldn't do that. That's not in me to, come on here and run psyops on people and, that nothing like that, because it happens to me. And even if it didn't happen, I just wouldn't do that. I would be doing something else productive with my life. I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in right now, which is very tough, which is very sad, but I'm going to get into that later, right? But another false narrative that's spun around me is, next level is I've been called a Freemason, right? I've been called a Mason. It's funny because, people take a look at my channel and they see how I put it together, and they see my profile pic and they judge me on that. Nexx is a Mason. Or he's all about money. That's all he cares about is money. And that's the look at that, or he's using people for money. Like he's using them. Right? That's a funny one. That's definitely a funny one, because I'm gonna be straight up, like I always am. I'm straight with you guys, like 300, man. Like, I have been blacklisted I could damn near say my whole life, but it picked up traction as I got older. Picked up traction. I was always wondering why it was hard for me to accomplish anything, as far as education. That was sabotage. I couldn't get to sleep. I couldn't wake up. Like, that's a whole nother, that things were placed in front of me to block me in all types of situations, from being successful financially. And, once I started working, I didn't understand why I was being harassed on my jobs, why I would get fired, or why I was struggling to wake up to be able to work on time, or when I would wake up, why, obstacles was set in front of me to prevent me from getting to work on time. I mean, it was consistent, back to back, you know, and you know, it's just been a struggle, and I never knew why. I never understood why for the life of me, because I am not, you know, a person who seeks to take advantage of anybody or any situation. You know, like, I barely have anything, you know, and I do what I can to, you know, get what I can, and God is still good, and I thank God every day for any blessings that I have. But one thing that I absolutely do not do is take advantage of anybody. You guys don't see me in my videos, oh, donate, please donate to me, even though I probably should. You know, it's a lot of donation shaming, but I don't, you know, like, sometimes on my live streams, like, I'll say, you know, if you feel called to donate, you know, go ahead. You know, I appreciate all the donations. I do. I really do. Shout out to anybody who has donated to me, perp or not. Shout out to you, you know. But, you know, that's another narrative that they spin around. Oh, he takes money from TIs and he should be ashamed of it. Well, check me out, man. If you were in my shoes, that's the thing. You're not. A lot of these people are not in my shoes. These are perps who are controlling these narratives and talking all of this crazy stuff about me. But they're not. You know, these people live comfortably. You know, some of them get SSI. Some of them are able to work and still collect from their, you know, gang stalking paychecks and everything. And, you know, and that's a whole nother, you know, and then they have the nerve to open their mouth and talk about me. And I understand what's happening there. So I don't get upset. I really don't, because that's what these things are designed to do. At first I did. Like, when I first started hearing these narratives coming at me, oh man, just set me right off. But right now, I understand that that's these people's jobs to bend the narrative around the real TI. You know, that's their jobs. Excuse me, guys. That's their jobs to do that. So what, am I gonna be, you know, stupid and fall for it and allow these people to piss me off, and or just, you know, understand what is happening here, like what people are doing as far as, you know, trying to bend and control the narrative, not even just twist the narrative, because the narrative is just a story. Control it. All right. So what's another one that I've heard? Or, oh, Next Level stole from such and such, or he, you know, he steals from old women and this and that. Or it's like, what? Okay, well, so let's be clear. Like, I have never stole anything from anyone that I've ever, you know, stayed with, or anybody has invited me. There has been situations where it was straight setups, and these setups happen, and I didn't see it coming, you know. And, you know, a lot of these people who claim to be TIs are in my position. They're not really going. They've never been in my position, never went through anything I've went through, you know. These people reached out to me in my time of need and was like, oh, Nexx, come and stay here. You can stay here. And then, you know, not even people. It was just one particular person that this happened to. Oh, no, actually two. Because I saw this perp on somebody's live stream, you know, a couple weeks ago, claiming that I stole from her, and she's a liar. She's another one, you know, that is that. Well, I'm gonna get to that on a later date. But, you know, people invited me. This lady invited me to stay at her house. Freaking was acting weird and perpy the whole time. 3 o'clock in the morning came. She just busted in my freaking room where I was staying. Get out on the street, and it was crazy. And then, like, the next day, you know, I guess, I don't know, this lady was, she was, I'm pretty sure that it was all a plan, you know, it was all a setup for me to even go or to even be there. I know that for 100%, but this lady started telling people in the community that, oh, Nexx stole $100. She had nothing. Like, this lady had no money at all. Like, she had nothing, no food in there. And it was all a freaking psyop. But when I got there, I came to this lady's house with groceries, right? I came there with food and everything, and I never touched any of her stuff, never. And then, now, yeah, I left that situation. I didn't react when she bugged out. That's a whole nother situation that happened. And, I'm hearing weeks later and, months later after that situation took place, oh, Nexx he steals from people and such, and he stole from that lady. And then that, people are talking about this and they're putting that, but it's all behind my back too. But it gets back to me. It always finds a way to get back to home base, what people are saying or whatever. And I thought it was funny. Here's another narrative that, I would just, it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Here's another narrative. Next level is causing division in the Next level is causing division in the TI community. Well, I gotta say that's a bunch of hoopla too, because if you know me, if anybody knows me or had any interaction with me, Perp or TI, right, whatever the case may be, I have had a lot of situations with people. I'm just gonna say people, all right? And I wasn't able to think back about certain situations and say, man, they got me again. They got me. It's a continuous thing. Like I gotta say, out of all the people I've met, only maybe one or two, maybe three out of all of those people were true. And I walked away from those situations, like, man, like those were good people and grateful for the experience and still friends with them till this day. Some of those people I walked away from feeling like that, only to find out that, they were waiting for their time to turn their back on me, put that knife in my back and contribute to the freaking smear campaigns. You know what I mean? It's crazy. There is so many narratives that is spent around when it comes to Next Level that I find hilarious, because I know it's so far from the truth, but when you take a closer look at what this community is and you understand there's a lot more of them than us, right? So they can control the narrative. Matter of fact, they get paid to control the narrative and spin the narrative on real TIs. And a lot of these people are, they come out, they make videos, they act silly, or, the Bible says this or all of that. And that's not who they really are in real life. It's not. And I know for a fact it's not. And it's another sick demonic game that these people play, especially the ones who claim to love Jesus and Christians. And it's sick that these people are not like that in real life. They're not like that in real life. These people are following orders. They're being instructed to make friends with the target, make contact with him, call him, or like his videos and such, and become a friend to him and reel him in, whatever you got to do to reel him in. And then, cause some kind of confrontation, or, talk about this person or that person and that. Yeah, I see that a lot. I see that a whole lot. Like, these people claim to be going through what we're going through, what I'm going through, and 90% of them aren't. And I could see that. And a lot of stuff that comes out of their mouth it's all a narrative, a false narrative, right? Or they're just this one talking trap and drama with this one and drama that and that and that and this and that. And it's crazy because I'm on their radars. Like, once I figure out what side you are on, once you show me that, it's quiet for you. Like, I really don't have too much to say. Like, personally, like, any real person who is going through something, or let's say you go through a situation with somebody and you jump out the window. And when I say jump out the window, you are you say something out of pocket, or you offend somebody. What's the first thing that you're gonna do? You're gonna contemplate, like, man, I was wrong about that, man. Let me apologize and make this right with that person, because that's not who I am, or that's not how I wanted to, come across. And these perps don't do that. I'm still waiting for apologies from a lot of these perps, and they're not gonna do that. They specifically are assigned to get close to the target. Get some kind of gratification or build some kind of connection with you, get ghosts, find a reason to have some kind of drama with you, and then break away from you, right? And then to just so they can curb the narrative. And, oh, Nexx is this way, Nexx is like that. That's a narrative, man. Like, it's only a story. It has no truth to it. And when you take a closer look at what this thing is, because they don't want any kind of real camaraderie or connection between real TIs, they're going to insert all of these different kind of perps in, which they did. And all these perps behind the scenes, they work together. And I've saw that with my own eyes. Like, I've went through these experiences with these people in real life and online, right? And I see how people were behind the scenes working with each other to target me, to just get to the point where we're at right now, where they're trying to control the narrative. Ask me, do I care? Ask me, do I care about whatever narrative or false narratives that they're painting about me? Because I really don't. I don't care with anybody who is perpetrating real TIs, right? Who is out here targeting real TIs. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you say. And, I just pray that you guys turn away from your wicked ways, and stop doing this to people. And, but a lot of them won't. Maybe some of them will. I don't know. I guess it's all in God's hands. I just leave it all in God's hands, and I understand that any type of narrative that they can come with to spin, to confuse people, or to turn real TIs away from other people who might have something constructive to say, to open their eyes to the wickedness that is happening in this network. Because I gotta say, that's what it is, and it's not a real community. And maybe people, it's gonna take the real TIs experience, like I had to experience it, for them to realize what I'm saying is true, and it's not a narrative. This is not a narrative. I'm not coming with any narratives in my video. And I'm just trying to tell the truth. I'm just sharing my truth. And I wish somebody would have actually broke that down to me when, I was first learning about this. Because I thought everybody was a real TI, and everybody who said that they were targeted. And, people who said they had love for me really had love for me. And, I learned, and I'm still learning every day. I'm not one of those people who say, I know all the ins and outs of this targeting program. No, but I do know what I experienced. I do know my personal experience. That's what I do know, and, when you think about it, I mean, even with what's going on today, the news media is there. That's a tool that the elites are using to control the narrative. And why are they doing that? Why are they pushing a narrative? Because they're not going to give us any truth. They might spoon feed us half a tablespoon of truth. They might. They don't want us to really know what's going on. And that's the same thing for this, this organized stalking program. It's all about manipulation, confusion, hyper game theory. Shout out to Brian too. Salute. Yeah. So I know this is happening. This has happened to all the real TIs that's going through this, and it really is. It really is. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. All the thumbs down that this video gets. will be from those same people who are trying to control the narrative. They're not giving you any truth because they don't have any truth to tell. They're being controlled. Paid opposition. These people are being paid to do this to me, to you. And they're smiling and having fun and this is what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. And that's a whole nother video. But I ain't gonna hold you for too much longer, man. You know, seek truth. Try to dodge the narrative because it's just a story. That's all it is. You know, it's your boy Nexx. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here.